Hey humans, how's it going? It's Chani today here. Happy New Year and welcome to the very first video of 2018. I can't believe I can actually say 2018 now. It's kind of just been like, in the future, but now it's actually here. I hope you all had an amazing time. It doesn't matter how you celebrate it, the fact that you're here watching the video, that's really awesome. So let's get into the first episode of my Sims 4 console legacy series for 2018. Last episode, as you would remember, was the Christmas episode, so it was really cute, really sweet. We had our little Christmas jumpers and sweaters on, even though it's not really a South African thing. I still had them dressed up for Christmas. We obviously had the tree, we opened some crackers, and yeah, it was quite an interesting episode. Chani got trapped underneath the stairs and they wouldn't sit next to one another for lunch, but it's fine, whatever. The Sims clearly just didn't want to pretend that it was Christmas. They were like, please can we not pretend that it's fake Christmas? Okay, thank you. So today what I have planned and what I have done is I've actually done a little bit of a Chani Bralyen household makeover and renovation. I've done it off camera in a sense, in that I have recorded a time lapse for you guys, which I'm going to commentate over and like kind of take you through my design choices and design decisions and everything about how I changed it and why I changed it and why I added what I added where, and yeah, so let's jump straight into that footage. First off the bat, I obviously needed to get Chani and Bralyen out of the house so I could actually edit and adjust things without the Sims being in the way. I put all of the Christmas decorations in the family inventory so that when Christmas time rolls around next year or this year, we can actually use them again so I don't have to buy them. I really didn't understand the whole idea behind this secondary balcony slash entrance slash porch area. I understand the balcony upstairs, but not so much this entrance area, secondary entrance here. So I decided, you know what? I want Bralyen to have a study, and I didn't really want to upset Bralyen's study too much because I mean it's his like little space. I wanted Chani to have her own space because if we look at their career options, I want Chani to go obviously into the gaming, esports, and like streaming scenario, whereas Bralyen's gonna go into the tech startup, and I really didn't want them to share that space and that creative space because I wanted them to make it their own. So you'll see with the design choices, I keep the flooring the same, I keep the wallpaper the same, but I've kept the studies I've let the Sims personality shine through. I also decided that I hate all the windows and I got rid of all the windows and I redid them. I was like, no, Bralyen, you had terrible window and design choices. I am fixing this for you. I also do extend the bedroom and the ensuite bathroom upstairs, but I'll speak about that when we get around to doing that. But back to the offices, I wanted the Sims' own personalities to shine through. So Bralyen's office I didn't touch. I think I obviously fiddle with the windows and stuff, but I didn't touch from a decor perspective because it had been set up like that, and that's what his office was like. You saw me extending the bedroom and the ensuite bathroom upstairs. I actually made that really, really, really cool. I'm really super stoked with how everything turned out. I also, because I said, I don't actually remember if I've mentioned it in a previous episode or not, but I wanted to make the kitchen a little bit more open plan. So I've actually never struggled to try and work out a flow for this room as much as I worked out with this room, because I did a lot of planning and looking at the room off camera, and I was like, how am I going to do this and how am I going to make this work? So it was quite an interesting one. Here you can see I'm just doing the wallpapers and the flooring. I really like this brick wallpaper, and here I really like the original double windows, so I kind of just removed all of the singular windows and I've replaced them with a bunch of double windows. But I don't know if you guys find the same issue, but my Achilles heels when it comes to Sims build mode and Sims architecture and being a Sims builder is I have an issue with windows to make them to have enough windows so that there's enough natural light going into the room, but also so that it doesn't look overdone. And like I struggle to find that happy medium, that happy balance with windows in the Sims as well as with lighting, because I have a whole thing you'll see later when I'm busy with Bralyen and Chani's room. I have an issue with the lighting. I like really, really well lit rooms. Here I'm busy making the kitchen open plan. I had a very, very like set idea with this, is I wanted to open it and free the space up a bit because it was actually quite old school. I also made all of the wallpaper the same color so that you don't have a disjointed connection between like where the kitchen is, where the living room is. I also really like how I ended up partitioning this kitchen. As you can see, I've moved the dining table and I've put it into the family inventory because, as we know, the dining table did not work for The Sims. So what I actually end up adding is an island, and I add 4 bar stools around that. So at the moment, obviously, Chani and Bralyen are only 2 Sims. We never know when they're going to start a family. We never know who they're going to be entertaining in the future. So I kind of just wanted that to be a little bit more of a flowing, open area slash more approachable area, as well as I removed the wall there by the staircase because I felt there's a lot of space that can be used there in a very, very loose term. But I really like the idea of opening the room up, and then I took the curtains that I had taken down so vigorously. I do end up needing to buy more, unfortunately. I thought I actually had the same amount of windows, but I actually don't. I also try and figure out which windows and curtains go where, because obviously now the house has been extended. I take those curtains from over there. I still end up 2 curtains short, so not too great at the town planning there, I don't think. So yeah, that was the house so long. I also decided, instead of selling and rebuying a door, I just repurposed that door. For some reason, this door in Bralyen's office disappeared, so I just had to replace that as well. I don't know if that's a bug or something. That was very, very, very strange for me. And then I also ended up wanting to make the bathroom an ensuite because no one's really gonna go upstairs since it's only the bedroom upstairs. Everything else, entertainment stuff and everything, is downstairs, so guests can use the bottom bathroom, whereas upstairs can be like Chani and Bralyen's retreat and like get away from realities of life. Originally I had the couch and the TV and everything in the same area, and I just felt that that's probably going to be the best flow for this room for now. I did, however, change, and I did bring a little bit more lightness into the room by changing the mat from black to white. I also got rid of the original stereo that I bought over Christmas, and I bought a new one, which I felt fit the room a little bit better. It fit the flow a little bit better, and it was also not so little scrawny, tiny. I also now started wanting... I had an issue with my design tool here. It was very, very, very strange. It wouldn't show up. So I was like, can you let me finish and edit my table, please? Thank you. So that is one of the tables, obviously, from Shani's home that she had brought over with her. So this is kind of where I wanted to bring the little bit of a lived-in, homey, little knickknacks all over the place, as opposed to Bralyen's very sleek, very modern, not really lived in type place. So you'll remember that was from Shani's original house, the VIP ice bucket from their date. I've got some really cool accent pieces I still really like, because that was originally there when we moved in. I really like that, but I kind of wanted to edit the flow of the kitchen a bit so that they had 2 counters to work on instead of just the one, and just added some nice accent pieces, because that's what I love about The Sims, is if you don't like something and it doesn't look great, then you can just kind of get rid of it. But if something really works, like that piece of art in the kitchen really worked, and I quite liked it. And I also liked the fork and the spoon like accent, so that was really cool. I've always liked this apple pear piece of art. I really just like the art in The Sims. I'm a very art on the walls type person, and I'm super stoked that I can bring that into my Sims designs. So with this plant, this is why I say, like, having the space a little bit more used and utilized, it kind of just adds that little bit of we're using places and things. And I made the plants a lot bigger. I also then noticed that the room didn't have a lot of color apart from the crystals, so because the plants were green and add that spot of green, I decided to add that clock, which I think Chani got from her work as a bonus or promotion or something. I also have a little bit of an issue with this plant because, as you can see, the leaf kind of cuts through the wall a bit when you have the walls raised, but if you don't have it cutting through the wall, it's too far over into the walkway. I was like, no, maybe not. Then I started setting up Shani's study. I kind of wanted this to be the main focal point, because in my mind, Chani was obviously going to be a streamer and she's going to do a whole bunch of stuff. So you'll notice in, and I bring in the rug. I bring in the rug because you guys were so adamant on don't forget about the rug. It was supposed to be a hand-me-down rug, and I made sure that I could use it somewhere, even if it was in Shani's little office space. So I bring the couch in, and you'll see what I end up doing with a bunch of shelving behind that now, and I'll explain it once we get to it. Shani's vision board slash chalkboard slash corkboard with the postcards obviously gets placed. I get her an upgraded PC because I think she deserves it. Obviously the panda lamp has to be there. We add some more plants. I really like adding plants in this game as well. I checked the lighting because I realized that I hadn't added lighting into the new study and the new wing of the house essentially, so I added that. So with this wall, as you'll notice behind me, I have a bookshelf full of knickknacks and full of stuff. And I thought if this is going to be Shani's streaming and gaming room and like work room where she's going to practice all the gaming, she's going to obviously be on camera and she's going to need something behind her. It's not just going to be her face. So I kind of wanted to bring a little bit of me in that she's got a little bit of like a cascading bookshelf thing behind her, and if she wanted to do collaboration videos, they can film on the couch there, kind of like how normal YouTubers do. So I just kind of added a whole bunch of little knickknacks and stuff to these shelves. The sucky part about The Sims is that only really small objects can fit on the shelf, so a lot of the stuff that would have been perfect to go up there didn't really fit. So you'll see me testing a bunch of stuff. Does it fit? No, it doesn't. Does it fit? No, it doesn't. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. And then you'll see I also start adding a whole bunch of random like lawn ornaments. These neon signs are really cool because I couldn't resize them because the meshing goes weird. So I decided to have all three variations because they fit so well and they just add those pops of color. Because we've got the panda lamp, I decided to add a gnome that is wearing a panda suit because I thought that it was just perfect and appropriate. And also I'm the kind of person that's going to have random knickknacks like that all over the place. So you'll see, here's a lawn ornament with a gnome riding a flamingo, because why not? Just purely why not? So I felt this was Shani's little space, and now you can see the complete opposites between Shani's office and Bralyen's office, in that Bralyen's is very cool, we're going to get down to work, we're going to get down to business. It's designed and decorated very sleek, whereas Shani's is still sleek, but it's a little bit all over the place because it's a little bit more random and to life, or as replica of me. We come back to doing some lighting for the bedroom because now since it's a bigger bedroom I wanted more lighting because I really do like it. Just looks better on camera when you've got a well lit room. I really don't like the dull, dark, gloomy rooms, and I struggle to find, like, because I know you can change the intensity and stuff of the lighting, but I struggle to find the defaults flood the room enough. So you'll see I end up using the same lights over and over again. Now I kind of wanted to keep the same idea that Bralyen had with his original bedroom, with the whole idea of the wardrobe being exposed, because Sims actually don't need a wardrobe. You can kind of just click on them and be like, hey, change object. So here I kind of brought in Bralyen's side with like the blazer and the suit and whatever, Shani's blouses and anything that needs to be hung up so that it doesn't wrinkle, and then as well as kind of a unisex hoodies and whatever, because I know I have stolen many hoodies from many a boyfriend, so I kind of wanted his, hers, and then like joint slash unisex slash whatever. Added obviously the female shoe rack in there. I also wanted to bring in Shani's knickknacks from her bedroom into their joint combined bedroom now in the form of the My Sims trophies. I thought they're both geeks, they're both nerds, they would both appreciate that. Added some little finesse and little fine touches. I still felt that the room needed something because it was quite empty, and I remember this runner was so great from the stairs downstairs. So I kind of used that to tie the room together, and I felt that it really brought the space together quite nicely. This bathroom I was super excited to get into because now since it was such an elongated room, I actually thought that it was the perfect opportunity for me to use this corner bath, because I've always wanted to use it in The Sims 4, and I kind of can never justify using it because it doesn't always flow with the room as well as it should, whereas this room, it called for it because it's an elongated room. I could have made the bathroom a little bit bigger, but I decided no, let's leave it as rectangular as it is. We can have the bath on the one side, and then because of that I kind of wanted this to be a little bit of a retreat because they don't have kids yet, but you know, to get away from the hustle and bustle of their like everyday crazy lives with like the tech guru career. I wanted his and her sinks with his and her mirrors and stuff, with obviously the toilet over there. And I just really felt that this should be like a whole area for like rest and relaxation and quite like really nice symmetry. So that's why I've got the lights like angled correctly. I've always got 2 of everything. I've got 2 robes, 2 bath towel railings, 2 hand towels, and I also really wanted to put blinds on the window, which I do get to as well. Naturally, I'm going to add some clutter in the form of like an organizer, you know, where your spare towels are, where all of your other little things that go in a bathroom go. There's like the little wash thing with all of the stuff that you'll need when you get into the bath. Here is the blinds that I end up adding. The fact that I can actually resize things is probably the greatest thing I've ever learned. Then I kind of had a really cool idea for outside, because I didn't want to put Chani's easel downstairs in her office when they've got such an amazing view like we had seen in a previous episode on their balcony. And because the balcony had been made much bigger, I kind of wanted her to have a little like getaway from her getaway. So she's got her office, she's got the really, really cool like calming bathroom, but she's also got a place to call her own when it comes from a creative field. So she can be the streamer downstairs, but she can also go upstairs and like paint the view, paint whatever. So I put a little table and I added another bench upstairs, but I added the table with like, you know, the cotton roller towel that you always need, or the paper towels that you need. I always use that when I paint. That's just kind of a rule of thumb for me. Here I was just doing some finer, finicky, minor details, moving the bin to where I thought it should be, moving the mailbox to where I thought it should be, where it made more sense. I spin a lot. Whenever I'm spinning like that, I'm kind of standing, looking at my screen like this, being like, what else am I gonna do? So I also needed to get rid of the terrain markings, so I kind of spent a little bit of time. It's really tough because I can't get the paintbrush to move to the eraser tool, because I would have just erased it and then started from scratch, but I feel I managed to merge them well enough, as best I could at least, because this is my first time trying like fully utilizing build mode on console. It was definitely did take some getting used to. I then go in and I do add the move objects cheat, because I had a couple of ideas that I wanted to get right. The cheat didn't take first time, so if you've noticed this before, the cheat doesn't always take first time, so just enter it again and then it should work, well, like mine did. So I had a really cool idea, because Chani obviously had the little small screen TV, so I kind of wanted her to have a dual monitor setup, a second screen, a second monitor, so that she can like monitor the chat while she's streaming and whatever. And then as well as I really wanted to incorporate the coffee machine here, so I kind of cheated a little bit and placed it where it shouldn't actually work, but now it's there and their coffee machine is there. So that is the house. I'm super stoked with how it turned out. This is what it looks like with the different lightings. Like I said, it's the first real big project that I have tackled since moving to console. It was definitely a interesting experience. I'm really super stoked to get the Sims in it and make sure everything works first of all, but also just to get them to live in it and kind of utilize the new space, see how Bralyen enjoys his office, see how Chani enjoys her office. And yeah, so that is the video, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this style of video as well. I'd be super keen to hear from you, just because I am probably going to be doing a lot more builds, probably for unplayed families that we see kind of on the side when we go visit them. So my thinking, like Travis and Marissa, when they move in together, if they move in together, I've got some plans for that in the future. I'll kind of build them their house, and one day in the future when they've got a family and this house is too small for them, I do want them to move into a bigger house. And ideally, I really like the idea of doing a little bit of a time lapse and then walking you guys through it. I don't know, I feel my Sims building skills aren't where they should be, and I feel the more that I practice and the more that I make these types of videos, the better I'll get, and I'll get to where I want to be. So if you're keen to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments, please. I'd be super stoked to hear what your opinions are, as well as any thoughts, comments, or opinions that you have on the house. If you don't like something, if you really like something, if you think I'm missing something that you think would be ideal for Chani and Bralyen, let me know in the comments, guys. It is the only way I can get feedback, and the hotties are gonna be like super loud. Nothing's changed in 2018, guys. So yeah, that was the video. I hope you did enjoy. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new around here. Remember that we're all human differently, and I'll see you guys again soon. Cheers! Do you like my New Year's hat? It's actually a St. Paddy's Day hat, but I thought, it can look like a New Year's hat. I think it fits.